Phillies are back at it again today here in Milwaukee as they try to erase the loss last night. The Phillies, good news is they didn't lose any ground in the standings. They're still 4 games back. Meanwhile, the Brewers are a game and a half up in the National League Central. All right, if the Phillies are going to make any kind of move, they've got to tighten up their defense. A .979 fielding percentage, that's last in the National League. It is a stark contrast to last year when they were 4th in the National League. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis. We'll talk about Zach Eflin in just a little bit because every pitcher needs solid defense. But let's talk about this Phillies defense. About an hour ago, they were out on the field working on their infield defense before batting practice. They definitely need to tighten things up.
They do need to tighten it up, button it up, however you want to put it. They need to make these changes because you take a look at our Toyota turning point last night's ball game. 4 errors. Now, the Phillies staff have a lot of guys that can get the ball on the ground, Tom, and they're not making the plays right now. These are some tailor-made double plays that aren't being made. You have to help your pitcher out whenever you can. A fly ball here to Rhys Hoskins. He's going to flat out tell you, I need to make that play. This is the big leagues. These plays need to be made, and it needs to get buttoned up and buttoned up quickly.
And for J.P. Crawford, this is the kind of play that he can make in his sleep most times. It's a shortstop charging the ball and making the clean throw at first base, but nothing was easy last night for the Phillies. Now, can they turn things around in 24 hours? Hopefully they can, because Zach Eflin's been really good. In fact, when the Phillies have needed a pick-me-up, he's given it to them in their last 2 starts.
Last 2 starts, 2-0 with a 1.98 ERA. He's going to have his work cut out for him. We've seen what this lineup can do. The last outing against these Brew Crew, well, he had it going. He was able to spin a baseball. His changeup was exceptional. That's a pitch that's really come a long way for him. He's starting to figure it out, throwing it to righties as well. But he was able to spin a couple of baseballs. The slider was good. And what's key for him is the fact that he can elevate with that fastball, sit about 94, 95 with that pitch. But if he can climb the ladder, he's going to be that much more effective.
You see Andrew Knapp behind the plate in that outing right there, and Knapp is behind the plate again today. Now, we talk about having to bring your A game against this Brewers squad. 87 home runs, that's second most in the National League. The percentage of runs via the home run, their first 44% of their runs have come with the home run, including 9 against the Phillies, and 40 runs for the Brewers. Whew. Got to cool them off here this afternoon in Game 2 of this 3-game series. So we'll see if the Phils can do it. It'll be Eflin. It'll be opposed by Junior Guerra, who the Phillies have not faced this year, making his 13th start of the season. When we return, we'll get to lineups and first pitch here in Milwaukee. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. By Toyota. The Toyota Camry, Highlander, and RAV4 have something for everybody. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IDX.com. of this four-man crew.
Over the fence is a homer.
I think it's interesting that they were just talking for a while, then they started pointing. I'm sure that they all know the rules. Gabe played here at this ballpark. Brewers are taking the field. Junior Guerra, who's been good for the Brewers, is about ready to loosen up. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet provider according to speedtest.net. Cesar leads it off at second, then Rhys Hoskins. Odubel bats third, then Carlos Santana. Scott Kingery again at shortstop, batting fifth. Nick Williams sixth. The change is that Andrew Knapp does the catching today for Zach Eflin, just as he did the last time out. Now they will face Guerra. Guerra is 3-4 in the year, an ERA of 2.71. When we last really saw him a couple years ago, he was throwing one split after another, but he's gone from throwing the split 27% of the time, Ben, to just 16% of the time. It's still in his repertoire, but he's more a fastball kind of guy.
Yeah, he's very hard luck loser this year, or winner, however you want to look at it, but he's been very good. 0-1 with a 2.22 in his last 5 starts. It's about 93. He will throw a curveball as well to go along with that splitter.
Got to be careful after the ground rules are talked about. A lot going on. There's Laz Diaz. Got to watch out. Laz is a big fella. So is Erik Kratz. What on earth are they looking at?
What are we doing here?
I think we need a hum babe right now. All right, here we go. We think.
Right on time, T-Mac.
I think they wanted to put the lights on, actually. Huh. It is pretty dark. Not really. All right, Cesar will lead it off. Cesar had 3 hits and 3 at-bats last night before he was lifted. And the first pitch of the day is taken down low. Cesar hitting .265, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs. On the inside corner. Check swing. He went, says Jeff Nelson.
Good sinker there. A lot of life to it.
.79 degrees at first pitch. Temperatures were supposed to be in the 90s today. I don't know if we reached that level. It was warm. That fastball was pretty warm too. Cesar struck out. And there's 1 out here in the first inning. His on-base percentage is good. It's a little less than last year, but he is striking out an awful lot.
He sure is. Not a whole lot he was going to do with that one. Had to swing.
Roof is wide open today.
Makes you so happy, doesn't it?
It does. Baseball's made to be played outside. You hear that, Miami?
Heard that growing up.
Rhys Hoskins, the hitter, with 1 man down.
Not in here, boys.
Yeah, and you listened too. Hoskins last night 0 for 4, hit into a double play in the first inning. Got some time over at first base in last night's game. Little low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gabe Kapler talked last night about his defense. They were out early today taking infield. Now they do that every day, but they did feel like they had to get used to this infield grass a little bit better. And a liner out to left field. That's going to be in for an extra base hit. It's going to trickle to the wall, and Hoskins is going to get to second base with his 16th double of the year. All right, that's a nice way to get this first inning rolling.
Sure enough. Good swing here. You take a look at our pitch cast presented by PJ Wheelhands. It's a good pitch to hit. He doesn't overswing, and that's exactly what you want to see out of Rhys Hoskins. seems like he's toned his swing down a little bit since coming back from the DL.
Yes, I would agree with that. Not as fast through the zone.
Yeah. Even his batting practice is about 70-75% it seems like in BP.
Odubel asked for time. Odubel had a good night individually last night. He was 2 for 4. Included in that was a home run, his 8th home run of the year. Month of June is kind of a carryover to the last couple weeks in May. Fouls it back. That's a good cut. And it's 0-1. Today's broadcast is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television to change the language through your menu on your cable box. Odubel is 0 for 5 against Junior Guerra, a guy that was slated to be in the bullpen this year for the Brewers, but because of injuries to Wade Miley and Zach Davies, they needed both Brent Suter and Guerra to slide into the rotation. And he's been good if you look at his earned run average and his whip. No balls, 2 strikes.
If Garrett does that again, Odubel's going to have a tough time getting his foot down. He did the quick pitch, more of a slide step. Odubel not ready to hit, had to take it because his foot wasn't going to be able to get down.
All right, but is this a spot where you would, because he's done this before, where you wouldn't use the leg kick as much, just widen your stance a little bit more?
Yeah. How is Odubel going to react?
Hits it sharply to shortstop. Hoskins go over to third. And Odubel's thrown out, just barely thrown out.
Here's that previous pitch here to Odubel. Garrett goes with a slide step, and watch Odubel just not able to hit. You speed him up like that, and Odubel can at times be lost because there's nothing he can do. There's literally nothing he can do to hit the baseball when he starts like that.
Well, a runner at third now with 2 men down for Carlos Santana. Santana 221 with 10 homers and 38 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night before he exited. Well, he's looking for a big hit right here. Off on a good note. Give Zach Eflin a 1-run lead to work with. Get a 2-out RBI.
Good splitter there.
Carlos this year is hitting .280 with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. 4 for his last 7. That .280 batting average is 4th best. But he has the most opportunities. He and Cesar and Michael Franco. Look where Hoskins is. I mean, Hoskins is halfway down the line.
Look where VR is.
Yeah, VR is halfway to right field.
My goodness. We've seen Cesar play deep, but VR is way out there.
Rhys is just asking Santana now if he's in his line of sight, if he wants him to move farther out into foul territory. Dusty Wathan just talking to him now. Left-handed hitter, he probably could see him in his periphery.
Yeah.
In the dirt.
Good play. Still pretty agile.
Yeah, senior citizens moving back there.
Man, that is outstanding. Junior Guerra's got to love that.
Now Arcia is about a step from the bag at third. Well,
and he retreats.
He was. That was a lot of effort for really nothing. And now the 3-2 pitch coming to Santana. Got him. Second strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left over at third base. So on to the bottom of the first, and Zach Eflin getting ready to head to the mound for the first time. According to speedtest.net. Thames leads it off at first base. Second game since he's come back that he's the leadoff hitter. And that means Lorenzo Cain will bat third in today's lineup. Thames has good numbers in his brief time against the Phillies. Facing Zach Eflin. Eflin 3-2 with an ERA of 3.63. And coming off his second or his first outing against the Brewers, where he went 6 innings, 3 hits, and he struck out 9.
We talked about the last couple ball games in the Open. 2-0 with a 1.98 over those last 2 starts. A couple W's. Sit about 94. The slider and the changeup were very, very good in his last starts against this Brew Crew.
Thames takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Thames last year 31 home runs and 63 runs batted in. That lines it foul. Betty got rid of the beard. He said it was just time to cut the beard, to shave it off.
Still has the pipes though.
Yeah, he does. He was walking around the clubhouse today. Walking around the clubhouse today, and I'm looking at him thinking, man, he would not lose an arm wrestling competition.
No chance.
Fouls it away. 2-2. Upstairs, just a little too high.
How free and easy that 95 is, though, out of Zach. I mean, it is free and easy.
Yeah, and his command has been really good, and that's been a huge factor in his success these last couple of starts. Out to left field. Going back on it is Rhys Hoskins. He'll get there. Yeah. one out here in the first. Time now for our home run replay. We look at Christian Yelich. This was a ball. I mean, it was a towering shot. It just kept on carrying.
It's amazing that he was able to stay inside it enough and keep it fair. He gets that slider slash cutter from Jake Arrieta up and in and able to just clear his hands. There's your home run replay brought to you by Giant.
Yelich 1 for 4 last night with that home run. Having a solid season. Some of the numbers Ben talked about in the victories we show you at the bottom of that screen. 382 in the victories. Oh for 4 with a couple RBIs against Eflin. Not a bad spot.
Yeah.
Not a bad spot at all.
I mean, if that's a pitch right there, if he can start throwing that more consistently, and he's gotten better over the last couple starts, just something to put in the mind of a hitter. Doubled up.
Fouled away. And just a bit outside, ball 4. I mean, these pitches are really close. They are right outside the zone. And a 1-out walk. Well, we said last night that Jake Arrieta got hit hard. And not only the hits, but also the outs. I mean, Ryan Braun's ground out, exit velocity of 110.1. Lorenzo Cain's fielding error, which would have been a double play, 105.6. I mean, but look at some of these exit velocities against Arrieta. These are the top exit velocities against Jake last night. 9 of 11 hardest balls hit in play against the Phils.
Just didn't have that movement that we're accustomed to seeing out of Jake Arrieta.
And you can hear it too, the sound off the bat.
Yeah.
Cain 2 for 5 last night with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Yelich is a threat to run. Stolen 7 bases, been caught once. There's a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cain moving down to the number 3 spot. He's been really good as the leadoff hitter. A 288 batting average as the leadoff hitter. They got some pretty good pop at the top of the order if you put Thames in the leadoff spot. Even with Aguilar, who had the day off. Aguilar looked like he had just rolled out of bed when he was over talking to the Phillies players during batting practice. It looked like he was wearing pajamas today.
It's funny. I was talking with Greg Murphy today about their, the top half of this lineup.
Phillies broadcaster Greg Murphy?
Yeah, the one and only. And Murph said, "Where would you rank them? One of the tops in the league?" I said, "Yeah, I still like the Cubs top 5 hitters over the Brewers, but I said the top 5 in this lineup. Whew.
There's a lot of thunder.
Yeah.
Although it was the bottom of the order last night that did a lot of damage.
Correct.
Down the right field line, slicing out of play. 2-2. Well, speaking of the outing last night by Jake Arrieta, he provided us with our Geico quote of the day. It was bad all the way around. I single-handedly lost us the game. I put up a 5-spot in the second inning, and it wasn't because of the defense, really. And again, if there's a play on defense that's not made, it's our job to get the next guy out to pick that guy up, and I didn't do that.
Well, you can ask out of your players, be accountable, right?
Well, he certainly was last night. Gabe was asked an awful lot about the defense in last night's ball game, whether guys are playing out of position and out of their comfort zone, and he was steadfast in feeling that Scott Kingery is going to be fine at short, and J.P. Crawford, a shortstop, is going to be fine at third. Kane stays alive, and it remains 2-2. Erik Kratz was trying to do everything he could to maybe help Jake manage his way through that game last night. Just didn't have his breaking ball or his command of the fastball.
You've seen Cranny be at the watching video the last couple days.
Yes.
He's been in front of that monitor for quite a while, trying to figure a few things out.
Trying to pick up arm slot and release point.
Man, works his tail off, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Runner goes. Pitches dribble to the right of the mound. That a nice job just taking care of the 1 out. So a runner at second and 2 outs.
Ball's got to have a smiley face on it. Right off the end.
And by the way, all these close pitches that you're seeing called balls by Jeff Nelson, they are out of the strike zone, according to our pitch cast. And they are close. I mean, they are inches from being strikes.
So if they made the plate 20 inches wide as opposed to 17, like I suggest, they would be strikes?
Yes, they would be. Fouled away, and it's 0-1 to Shaw.
It's just an inch and a half on each side, T-Mac. That's all.
I'm not saying that it's wrong. I give you an inch, you're going to want 2.
How'd I know you were going to go there?
Pulled down the right field line. Foul.
Coming in hot.
I mean, seriously, that little baby. Protect that little baby. What did it hit? The railing out there?
Hit the railing.
Don't throw the pitch there.
That's some good advice there, buddy.
Thank you. Sometimes it's the simplest things, Ben. Pulls it toward the right side, a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Yelich. A Shaw RBI gives the Brewers a 1-0 lead. 44th RBI for Shaw.
The walk scores.
And that'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate.
Down and gets that change up there. Gets enough of it to get it by Cesar in shallow right.
Yeah, that's a tip of the cap to the hitter. Well, they get the 2-out hit, and now Ryan Braun 0 for 4 last night. How about some of the balls he hit last night? We showed you the one. There was another one that didn't result in a hit for him. They say he's had a lot of that recently. Hang with him. ball and 1 strike and 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Pitch count, not Zach's friend right now.
No. Phillies have added some reinforcements to the bullpen, which Murph will talk about in a little bit.
Pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Wasn't that close, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner goes. Eflin steps off, and now they've got Shaw caught, and Cesar will track him down. So the inning is over. I don't know. I think Ryan Braun's thinking the same thing or wondering the same thing. The Brewers, though, do get a run on the RBI single by Shaw. We'll head to the second. Milwaukee 1 and the Phillies nothing. This season. Get the Phillies home screen icon and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Here's Scott Kingery to lead off the second. And Scott pops the first pitch foul. It's 0-1. Last night Kingery was 2 for 4. He had 2 hits, or had a hit in his last 2 at bats.
At a 3 spot right here.
Fly ball center field. Kane. One out. Nick Williams is coming up. Let's check in with Murph. He's got the roster moves for the Phillies today.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, a couple of new faces, a couple of new arms in the Phillies bullpen today as the Phils do make some roster moves. First and foremost, Luis Garcia is headed to the 10-day disabled list. He experienced some discomfort after pitching on Wednesday. They've held him out the last couple of days, but trying to be very conservative with Luis, so they are going to put him on the 10-day disabled list. Yaxel Rios comes up in his place. And also, Jake Thompson is here. He'll spell Mark Leiter Jr., who was sent back down today. Leiter, of course, pitched a couple of innings yesterday, and they just need a little length, so they'll bring in Jake Thompson as well, guys.
Yeah, there's Garcia. Gabe said today, he said that Luis came in he said there was no injury or no moment that he injured the wrist. It's just been starting to bother him more and more. So they said they're being very cautious, as we've heard before. 1 ball and 1 strike to Williams. Williams was 0 for 3, hit by a pitch yesterday. Hits that one sharply. And sliding play by BR. And the former Phil prospect is able to throw him out for the 2nd out. Time now for our Nissan upgrade. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. And Ben, we've got shutdown innings. The Phillies are the leader of the pack in the National League at 81.5%. Brewers are among the leaders. They are 4th in that category.
Such a big stat, though. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stats in baseball, but that shutdown inning, you do not want the momentum to swing back to the other dugout. That's one thing the Phillies have been so good about this season.
Andrew Knapp swings at the first pitch, left side of the infield. Shaw into foul territory. And an easy inning for Guerra. That's a 6-pitch 2nd inning. Well, that is a shutdown inning. We move on to the bottom of the 2nd. It's 1-0 Brewers. Or while mowing your lawn. Just be careful when you do that. Show us where you're streaming your favorite baseball team. Send us your best picks using the hashtag #AuthenticFan. She was just doing the floss a moment ago. Not as well as Ben Davis did.
No.
There was a gentleman doing it. They did it last night here at the ballpark. He was an older fella. Here's Ben Davis. What do you think, Ben?
I thought it was spot on.
Yep.
Very quick. Braun able to see a lot of pitches in that first at bat before Shaw gets picked off.
That was the first one from Eflin here. And it's 0-1.
Would have liked to see the Phillies offense maybe take a couple pitches.
Brent Suter's on the Brewers telecast right now.
That is not people helping people. Tom.
No, it's not. Ball is low.
Zach Eflin, who threw 27 pitches in that first inning. The Phillies go out, see 6 pitches, and he's right back out there again.
Fly ball left center field. Hoskins and Odubel are there, and Odubel makes the call on the catch. And 1 out. I said to Odubel today, I said, maybe next time you could be the position player that goes out and pitches. And he said, you do not want to see that. One out for VR. VR did not play in last night's ball game. His replacement played well. Hernan Perez. And he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. But it's no balls and 1 strike. VR 277, 6 home runs, 21 runs batted in. 1 for 3 with a strikeout against Zach Eflin. Another fly ball. This one short left, foul territory. Long run for everyone, and it's out into the crowd by the tarp's length or width. So VR comes back. VR was traded by the Phillies to the Astros in the Roy Oswalt deal. It's funny, out of all the guys the Phillies traded in the Oswalt and the Pence deal, you can even go back to the Cliff Lee deal to the Cleveland Indians. Carrasco has turned out to be a very good pitcher. VR, Domingo Santana. I mean, nobody else really made it to the big leagues. And the Halladay deal. Darno's been with the Mets for the last several years. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. First strikeout for Eflin. 2 outs here in the second. Monday when the Phillies take on the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a 7:05 first pitch, and fans who purchase tickets through the theme night page receive a limited edition Philly Fanatic Game of Thrones bobblehead. The theme night ticket is required. Go to Phillies.com/theme nights to get your tickets now. Phillies fans here to enjoy their ball club for today's game. Some are here for the entire weekend. Erik Kratz out to center field, and Odubel is there. Well, that's a nice quick inning.
9 pitches
for Zach Eflin. He needed it, and the Brewers go down in order. 2 of the books. We are on to the third. 1-0 Milwaukee. .com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. Ben, the question is this: who holds the record for most consecutive games with a strikeout by a Brewers reliever? Answer will be revealed a little later on. That's not an easy question.
No, it's not. I had one name that immediately came to mind.
Who? Raleigh Fingers.
No. 'Cause I think he's on the current squad.
Here's Eflin to lead it off. And he takes high. 1 ball and no strikes.
No hint?
None yet. Eflin 3 for 13 with a home run. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bouncer out to short. Garcia. Caught away. Hey, fireworks shows are coming up at Citizens Bank Park. They're Friday, June 29th and Saturday, June 30th, 7:05 and 6:05. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. That's the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. You want to see some of the best fireworks shows in the area and the best one in the city? Come to the ballpark those 2 nights. This pitcher is on the current Brewers squad. I had to think about it for a moment. Just because of all the injuries the Brewers have had. Crawford takes a strike, 0-1. 0 for 2 with a walk yesterday. Ball and 2 strikes. So Guerra has kind of reinvented himself, as we mentioned, over the last couple of years. Back in 2016, he threw his fastball 62% of the time. Last year, he threw it 65% of the time. This year, he throws it 72% of the time. And then he swapped the split with the fastball. Splitter was 23%. Then 19%, now 16%. The largest decrease in ERA. And he's on that list. Now, I will say that they don't score a lot of runs for him. Whereas Suter gets an average of 6.5 runs per game in his starts. Junior Guerra gets 2.3 runs per game from this high-powered offense that leads baseball for the least amount of run support, or leads the National League, I should say. Bouncer into the dugout and out of it.
I mean, if in your last 5 starts you have a 2.22 ERA, and your record is 0-1 in those 5 starts, you're not getting any run support.
Part of the reason why the bullpen leads in victories. Look out, Suter. Swing and a miss. 2 outs. 3rd strikeout for Guerra.
I finally figured out who he reminds me of.
Who?
Junior Guerra? El Pato. Octavio Dotel. They called him the duck because he walked like a duck. But his mannerisms, he kind of even looks like him a little bit. He looks like Octavio Dotel.
A little bigger.
Yeah.
He got a little. Yeah, he
same
does look
setup.
a little bit.
I mean, just his mannerisms out there on the mound. Well, he had an explosive fastball. OD. Woo.
back-to-back strikeouts. Second time today that Cesar has struck out. That's 4 strikeouts for Guerra. We go to the bottom of the third. Nest egg. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly and buy your local Chevrolet dealers. Ben, we've got some tailgating going on. They do it pretty well out here.
Yeah, they do.
Some burgers getting ready to go.
Think any of those fine folks are cooking any brats?
I would think. Garcia leads it off and fouls the first pitch back to the screen. 0-1. He's very colorful today. .207, 183 in his last 19. They've been trying to get him, and this happens with a lot of young players, they're trying to get him to shoot that kind of pitch the other way. And he's just not buying into it.
We saw him bail and wail last night. He was fortunate to get an 0-2 hanger from Jake and serve it in the center field, but
I believe he went around. He did his last Diaz. So Arcia's strikeout victim number 2 for Zach Eflin. Now that'll bring Guerra to the plate.
climbing the ladder. This ball just really wasn't that far inside. I mean, it's on the plate.
There it takes low. The net caught the bat. Thankfully, 1 strike. Yeah. We were having that conversation today around the dugout about some of the foul balls that were going into the crowd last night. Dusty Watson said, yeah, they were fired into the dugout, into the stands.
I still can't believe the net is that short above the dugouts.
I think because we're exposed to, you know, all these ballparks now that have the net, and it does not seem to be an impediment at all to the fans, that you wonder why they would make it that low. 2-2.
How many times have we heard Murph say the most expensive seats in the ballpark are behind the net? Not right behind home plate. It is true.
Every time a Phillies pitcher reaches 95 miles per hour or better, which Zach will do today and has done, Comcast will make a donation to Phillies charity. In fact, his last pitch was that way. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Line drive caught by Cesar at second. 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for the Brewers. But Eric Thames. Only his second start since coming back. He spent 3 years in Korea after being in the big leagues, but wasn't really a productive player. And in Korea, he had 124 home runs in those 3 years. And then the Brewers signed him to a multi-year contract once he became eligible again, a free agent. 31 home runs last year. They're trying to figure out how they can get Thames and Aguilar in the lineup at the same time. And he got him. Threw him a slider, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Eflin, has retired the Brewers in order the last 2 innings. We've played 3. We move to the 4th. The Phillies looking for a little offense when we come back. Or video with hashtag hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans. Top half of the 4th inning, each team with 1 hit. Brewers got an RBI in the 1st on a 2-out single by Travis Shaw. Rhys Hoskins got to 3rd in the 1st inning, but was left there, so he'll lead it off. He doubled his first time up against Junior Guerra, making his 3rd start against the Phillies.
Oh my
and
goodness!
A high fly ball to deep left field. Forget about it. That one is off the windows. And Rhys Hoskins has just tied this ball game up, his 9th home run of the year.
Woo. That ball was KILT killed. Good night. Heads up in the Stadium Club.
Yeah, certainly something the Phillies needed. The ball comes back onto the field. Exit velocity was 112. That's one of the longer home runs we've seen Rhys Hoskins hit in his very young career.
Couldn't ask for a better pitch to hit. He knows it. The whole ballpark knew it. Man. Junior Garrett says, yeah, that was a far one.
Odubel hits one not as far. Out to shallow right field for the first out.
It's a pretty swing. I told you about how he's kind of toned it down a little bit, not going after pitches as hard. And let Garrett supply the power there.
Nine home runs now, and 37 runs batted in. As Santana takes inside. Brian Anderson, who does the television for the Brewers, just sent me a text and said there are very few people that have hit the windows of that stadium club for a home run in this ballpark. He said that was one of the longer ones that he has seen here. Outside. Estimated distance on that home run, 431 feet. What do you think?
We have to do a recalculation, Tom.
Oh, yeah? And Santana works out a walk. The farthest home run, according to StatCast this year, has been a 479-foot home run by Marcelo Zuna.
Well, it's 344 right down the line, right? And then it juts out a little bit.
Yeah.
You tell me it only went 100 feet farther than that?
Just reporting the facts to you, Ben.
I don't agree with your facts, Tom.
Let's see, where would that put Rhys this year? Huh. It would put him at the 47th longest home run of the season. Kingery shows bunt. Kingery flied out to center field his first time up. Ground ball shortstop. RC has got it. Second for one. Quick turnover to first. Not in time. And off the front of the dugout. Kingery never made the turn, so he'll lock down at first base. So fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout at second base. And Nick Williams coming up. All right, let's see if Scott tests the arm of Erik Kratz.
Swift play here by Arcia and on to Villar. Villar just launches it. I mean, Scott Kingery's going to beat that out any day of the week.
I would agree with that. Kratz is 0 for 9 so far and in limited action throwing runners out here in the big leagues this season. He does have a very strong arm.
Yes, he does, and very rarely will he get to his feet to make that throw. Loves to throw from his knees.
That one gets by Kratz. So Kingery goes to second base. A wild pitch.
Another short one here. Not a ton Kratz could do with it.
Fly ball out to left center field. Kane was shaded that way. And the inning is over, but the Phillies do tie it up on a long home run by Rhys Hoskins, his second extra base hit of the day. Well, I'll tell you, his bat is coming to life over the last several games. We'll move to the bottom of the fourth, all tied up at 1. Every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today, and by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Well, with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy and our friend Rhys Hoskins, the Phillies and the Brewers are tied up at 1 as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Christian Yelich will lead it off against Zach Eflin. It'll be Yelich, Lorenzo Cain, Travis Shaw. First pitch in there for strike 0-1. Decides to start him off with something other than a fastball. 2-2. Got him. High fastball. That's where he's at his best, when he can get that fastball upstairs like that. And he picks up his 4th strikeout. He's retired 7 straight.
Just as long as it's not too high. This one just appetizing enough. That's where the target is. That is a perfect location.
Well, today he's used his 4-seam fastball 61% of the time. Change up 19%. which is a lot for him, throwing his changeup 19% of the time. First pitch to Kane is in there. Back toward the middle, right between the legs of Eflin, a base hit for Kane. Well, the Phillies can finally talk about the National League East because their rival, the Washington Nationals, will come to Citizens Bank for a 4-game weekend series beginning Thursday, June 28th. Now, reminder, the 29th and 30th are the Xfinity fireworks shows. Then Sunday is the Community Energy solar-powered Liberty Bell. That's free to children 14 and under. Visit Phillies.com for your tickets. Shaw had an RBI single first time to the plate. One ball, no strikes to Shaw. Keeping an eye on Kane over at first base.
Keep an eye on him, but don't lose track of who's in the box. You got him leaning.
And Carlos says, take a peek at it. So Rob Thompson is on the phone talking to the decider. Jeff Nelson's trying to get them to hurry up.
Take a look here.
He may have run into the foot. I can't tell if he's tagged him or not.
They're going to have a look at it.
They're going to look at it. Yeah, it looks like he might be out. Boy, they've been so good on these particular replays in general, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
So Laz Diaz, the umpire to the left, he called it. Jeff Nelson, the umpire to the right, will make the definitive call. The Phillies been really good with the replay challenges this year. The Brewers, meanwhile, they're 3 for 7 in their replay challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing. That's a deficient number.
Yes, it is.
That's not helping the cause. Phillies have challenged an awful lot this year, though. They've challenged 20 times. They've gotten 13 of the challenges overturned. So they're 13 and 7. I think it's amazing that the Brewers have only challenged 10 times.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
65% success rate.
Yeah, I think he blocks his hand off here.
That's what I'm wondering.
Tags him on the body.
Right
there. I think, yeah, his hand is not on the bag yet.
Can you see it, though? Is it definitive? So they'd have to blow that one up just to see if they was definitely touching. We're just assuming that he is.
It looked like Carlos's mitt changed shape right before his hand, meaning he tagged him.
Well, it would be an excellent use of replay if they can get Kane off the base paths. Then you just worry about Shaw, who was caught stealing earlier. Essentially picked off. Here we go. Thank you, Jeff Nelson says.
All right.
Boy, he just built the drama, didn't he?
He sure did. Man, Jeff Nelson, you should go to Hollywood.
Yeah, Carlos did kind of block the escape. Oh yeah, that's a definitive
See
look
how
right
his
there.
mitt changed shape? Outstanding job again.
So another pickoff. That's 7 pickoffs for the Phillies pitchers. Again, that doesn't include the caught stealing earlier today. Strictly pickoffs. When the runner goes back to first base. If he goes towards second, that's a caught stealing. Shaw takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Zach, big dude, 6'6", but he's got some quick feet.
Swing and a miss, 3-1. He got the green light after the changeup. Got to be a little frustrating for that guy right there that 2 of his guys have been picked off or caught stealing when you have the middle of the order up. 3-2. Carlos Subero, the first base coach, has to jump out of the way. He was doing a bunch of exercises today, and it looked like he could move pretty good at his age. Celebrated a birthday yesterday along with Erik Kratz. Swing and a miss. He got it with an off-speed pitch. 5 strikeouts for Zach Eflin. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left because Eflin picked them off. We'll go to the 5th. Phillies and the Brewers tied up at 1. To your desktop the same day when you order by 11:30. Pinpoint delivery by who? Who but WB Mason. Murph was changing the batteries in his microphone today, and he was using Duracell batteries, making sure they're long lasting.
Still working.
That's right.
How's that earpiece, Murph? All fixed?
Still working. That's touch and go though right now.
Murph had some equipment failure today. Didn't stop him though. Probably didn't answer the question the proper way, but it didn't stop him.
Started reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's right. Two balls and no strikes to Knapp. There's a high fly ball to deep center field. Kane going back. It's gone! Andrew Knapp with his first home run of the year, and the Phils take the lead 2-1. Atta baby, Andrew.
Get yourself in a good hitter's count. Put a good swing on it. Batting practice does not always equate to a good game, but his BP today was spectacular. Both sides of the plate for Andrew Knapp.
Last home run was in May of last year. It's been more than a year since his home run, last home run.
I mean, could you ask for a better pitch to hit? Dead central. Very hitter-friendly ballpark. Andrew Knapp taking advantage right there.
I think the other thing is that Andrew's getting some more playing time, getting a chance to catch a couple of times a week as Zach Eflin rolls one through the left side. I think that helps Andrew, that he's getting some more playing time just for his timing.
Yeah.
Always hope for success for good people. He's a good person. All right, so Eflin's aboard with nobody out, and here's J.P. Crawford. Eric Thames is talking to Guerra, and he just told him he was going to play behind Zach Eflin, so he's going to walk behind. Shaw is in on the grass at third base.
If JP were to bunt here, it'd have to be for a base hit.
I was thinking about that. It wouldn't be a bad idea to do it for a base hit if he could, but I just don't think they're going to do it.
No.
Well, I don't think he's going to do it.
I don't think he should do it. Not with a pitcher on first base.
Yeah, that's the risk you run. I'm actually surprised that Shaw was in as far as he was at third base. Swing by JP. Got to short the swing here with the count 3-2. Popped him up. Should find the seats and will. rightful hands of a Phillies fan. JP strikes out for the second time today. 5 strikeouts for Crawford. And 1 away. Come join the 2018 Phillies, their coaches, us broadcasters, and some of the folks from the '93 team at the Phillies Festival. It's this Thursday, 4 o'clock. It benefits the ALS Association Greater Philadelphia chapter. Now, the admission tickets, which includes 2 autograph booth tickets, are $30. Go to Phillies.com. It's all for a great cause. Get a chance to go to every roll as a winner. Walk away with a prize. Cesar pops it up. These last 2 at-bats have not been productive. And there are 2 outs. And here's Rhys Hoskins. Last time up for Rhys, he hit it off the windows and left.
First pitch swinging, 431 feet later. That is a big one. Junior Garrett just, wow, that went far. You don't see reactions like that anymore, you know? A reaction like that tells me that Junior Garrett knows it's a game. There's a lot riding on it. They get paid a lot of money to do what they do. There's pressure. But in the end, it's still a game, T-Mac.
Many of us wish we could still play it.
That's the truth.
I think you should make a comeback, Ben. Breaking ball. Murph, what do you think?
Absolutely. I saw him working the catcher's stance today in the dugout and still didn't get down there low.
We'll just tell the umpires that if you there's a problematic, they got to help you up.
And we'll also tell him not to throw him curveballs. He didn't like that.
No, I didn't. Or change-ups or cutters. Or sliders.
Other than that, you're going to be great.
Yep. 2-0 pitch coming to Hoskins. I mean, think about all of the catchers out there. What do you think you could hit right now if you went out there?
You're going to put me on the spot right now?
Yeah.
How long do I
You got 3 weeks to get yourself ready.
No, I think I could probably still hit.
And you don't have to switch hit. Choose your favorite side.
I think I could probably still hit 180 to 200.
You got to get it up a little higher than that.
There's no chance.
Yeah, got to get it up a little higher than that. Ball 4. What about, can you get it up to like 220?
Probably not, Tom.
We saw you bunt. Can you bunt? You can get to 220 if you bunted, right?
Maybe. Who's going to run for me, though?
We'll worry about that later.
Maybe Ghost Runner.
Yeah. Just give it a try. I mean, what do you got to lose? You know what you can do? Go to winter ball.
Go to winter ball.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think this is going to work. Because then you can, if it doesn't work out, you just come back to the booth.
Very content and happy in what I'm doing now, Tom.
But wouldn't it be cool if you could still do that?
It would be.
Kratzy's 38.
Yes, he is.
And you are
41.
All right. There's not a huge difference between 41 and 38.
Except he's in shape and I'm not.
You can do it. Just get yourself to the gym finally. No balls and 1 strike. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1. See, you could do that.
It probably does sound naive, but I think I still probably could catch.
Oh, see, here we go. Murph, we're getting it out of him.
I think you could still catch, too.
Yeah, I think he'd still hit 220.
No chance. I was demonstrating. I did a long talk with Aaron Nola today and Kevin Stocker.
See, that's research. You're researching.
Talking about different techniques and what Aaron looks for in a catcher, what he likes. Stock was asking a few questions about, you know, setup and things like that. So I demonstrated a little bit. It was easy getting down.
Ball and 1 strike. Arm strength is back. Like you know, the AC joints are fine, right? I think we got something going here. Popped up. Here you go, Ben. It's right near us. If you catch this, you got to try out.
Oh, nice grab. One-handed.
Wow. Bucket hat and all. One ball and 2 strikes to Odubel. Phillies have taken the lead on a home run by Andrew Knapp. And now looking for some more. Zach Eflin at second base. Outside 2-2.
See, Guerra went with the slide step right there and was not able to gather himself. So he was so fast at home plate, he didn't give his arm a chance to catch up. That's why he threw it wide right. You still have to be able to make sure you get on top of it. If you go so fast, you have to give your arm a chance to catch up. And then it just defeats the purpose of the slide step.
Swing and a miss. Odubel strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Guerra. But the Phillies have taken the lead on a home run by Andrew Knapp. It's his first one in more than a year. Out to dead center field. We move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Phillies 2 and the Brewers 1. We mentioned this yesterday, how Cole Irvin pitched well but lost to Pawtucket 2-1. Reading lost to Akron 5-0. Cornelius Randolph had 2 walks. Lakewood lost to Hickory 4-3. And Williamsport defeated State College 3-2. Danny Mayer 3 for 3, a triple and a run scored. So Williamsport is underway. Zach Eflin just finishing up his warm-up tosses now. He was out at second base when that last strikeout was recorded. But he has a 2-1 lead to work with as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and now he needs a shutdown inning as he faces Ryan Braun. Braun fly to center field his first time to the plate. takes on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Long conversation in between innings between Junior Guerra and the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson. I didn't see Guerra arguing at all about balls and strikes.
No.
It may have been something that Guerra was doing on the mound that Nelson was warning him about.
Hey, be careful. And umpires have been known to do that. Hey, make sure you stop. Make sure you come to a complete stop in your stretch.
Line drive to right field. Nick Williams. Well, thankfully, he was able to stop it on one hop. That ball was smoked.
That's some good hitting there.
A leadoff single. .4 on the exit velocity.
Just this field is just so quick.
Yeah, I was talking to Rob Thompson about that last night, or actually this morning.
Well, half swing, just knockdown wedge, hits a bullet.
And I said to Rob, I said, this infield is probably faster than I remember it. And he said, working at batting practice yesterday, taking ground balls, working balls off the bat as infielders, as VR fouls it. He said it was quicker during the game, just the game. So he goes, and what we have to do, he said, we have to adjust. I mean, as fielders, we have to adjust, which I think is part of the reason why, and they take infield a lot, but that they definitively took it today, just to kind of gauge it a little bit more. Line drive foul. 0-2.
It was interesting to hear what Kevin Stocker said last night. And we were discussing it after the game. And he said, at shortstop, the game just really speeds up. At second base, you have the luxury of staying back a lot more because obviously the throw is not as long. You can wait back on balls and still make an easy throw to first base. He said, shortstop, it's just not that way. The game is just so much quicker in that particular position.
And a strike 3 called. 6 strikeouts for Eflin. And that's a beauty. So 1 away with a runner at first. Pitch cast presented by PJ Wheelahands right on the line.
I like that strike 3 call by Jeff Nelson. Some pizzazz to it.
Runner goes.
Not even throw it.
What a good jump. You heard step off in the background, but at that point, Eflin was just about to pull the trigger. Stolen base number 200 for Ryan Braun.
He grabbed the bag and hold it over his head like Ricky Henderson. What do you think? Fans give a partial standing O.
Yeah, they short memories.
This gets running lead.
Kratz fly ball center field. Odubel on the run. He's there. And he'll make the catch. And there are 2 outs. And now RC is coming up. Arcia was taking a long look into the Phillies dugout to see if they were going to walk him intentionally. I thought would be wishful thinking. Now, does have 7 extra base hits this year. Bullpen action. Taylor Williams, the hard-throwing right-hander in the pen for the Brewers.
Rod Beck.
The younger version of Rod Beck.
Yeah.
Bouncing ball right side. Now it's a foot race, and Eflin will win it. 3-1 on the putout, no runs. 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. 5 in the books. Will head to the 6th. Phillies on top, 2-1. On the mound Monday night. Aaron frustrated Colorado for 6 2/3 innings, allowing 1 run on just 4 hits, no walks, while striking out 10 for his 5th career double-digit strikeout performance. Nola improved to 6-0 at home this season and is 14-3 since June 22nd of last year. He is the first Philly with multiple starts of 10 strikeouts or more and no walks in a season since Cliff Lee in 2013. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Aaron Nola will be pitching tomorrow for the Phils as we wrap up this very quick series, a very quick road trip. Phillies are hoping for the same kind of success that Aaron has had recently. As Carlos Santana will lead it off against Junior Guerra. Santana is 0 for 1.
Try and add on here.
Ball and 1 strike to Santana. that spot down. Guerra does against Santana. It's almost like it's a blind spot for Carlos.
He really hasn't challenged a whole lot of lefties in tonight, has he? Pretty much out over the plate. Go back to that splitter.
Got him. 7 strikeouts for him. Yeah, that'll bring Kingery up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, we're having some fun with Ben talking about making a comeback. But when you stop to think about it, it really makes what Erik Kratz is doing for Milwaukee even that much more remarkable. As you mentioned, he just turned 38 years old yesterday, and his teammates were teasing him. He said, you know, there's only 5 other guys in the National League that are 38 or older. And he said, well, wait a minute. I just joined that list today. They were teasing him yesterday. But there you see the list. It's, you know, it's mostly pitchers on the list, guys that, you know, are able to hang around for a little while. Guys like Joaquin Benoit and Peter Moylan are older than him. Chase Utley is the only other position player who is on that list, but Erik Kratz is doing it behind the plate. Now, I know he's not playing every day, but being able to play behind the plate at age 38 in the big league certainly is an accomplishment. And, you know, he's only been with the Milwaukee Brewers for a short period of time, but he has done some damage offensively. He has 3 home runs and very limited plate appearances. And, you know, as we know, he spent a couple of years with the Phillies. He is just an absolutely terrific guy to have in any clubhouse. So, you know, you think about good guys in baseball who are still around. Erik Kratz certainly fits that bill. And it was great to catch up with him yesterday. We hadn't seen him in a while, but it was great to catch up with him yesterday. We didn't have a little chance to talk with him.
Yeah, and his actions are still really good behind the plate. But we've talked about this over the years, and we're joking with Ben about, you know, making a comeback. But, you know, there are guys that if they can handle a staff or handle a handful of pitchers, and he was out in the bullpen today trying to learn some of the pitchers still, you can stick around for a little bit. If you're good defensive catcher. 3 balls and 1 strike. His hands are still soft.
And he still is a very good defensive catcher. Even the lateral movements, we've seen him have some really good blocks today. You know, the agility is still there.
It's a big body, too.
He's a big man.
One pitch to Kingery. A little low, 3-2. I should say, ball 4. Guerra thought that was a strike.
I thought it was a good pitch myself.
Yeah, I think that's what Guerra was caught with. It was over the plate, but it may have been a tad low. 3 walks now for Guerra. And Nick Williams coming up, but he may not get a chance to face Junior Guerra. Craig Counsell's taking the slow walk out. He's got a lefty warming up, so he's going to go to the bullpen. It's Boone Logan who's warming up.
3 days in a row. I'm sorry. Logan did pitch last night.
Yep. So pitching change. The oldest players National League. It's out there. Team undecided. 41 years and 98 days. Clock's ticking, Ben. We'll be back after this. Tuesday night's game versus the Cards. Head over to Phillies.com/authentic fan to choose your seats and your choice of a special hat to show off your status as a true, authentic Phillies fan. We'll be sitting out in section 138. Watching the Phils and the Cardinals. Junior Guerra threw just 80 pitches, but Craig Counsell's decided that that's enough with one runner on and a lefty coming up. Lefty who's gotten a ground out and fly out. And now you have Boone Logan, who has struggled with his command, at least in the games that we've watched.
Game sure has changed.
Yeah, a lot of times you would prefer to have your starter just keep on going in a 2-1 ball game.
Pitches, and the Phillies have 4 hits.
He has 7 strikeouts.
I mean, you're looking at it. If the Brewers think that they can, I mean, obviously they're in first place by a game and a half, but if they think they can go deep into the playoffs or even make the playoffs, I would think a rested bullpen would play more later on in the season than June 16th. So you want to save a couple of those guys.
1 ball and 1 strike. Looper out toward left center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Going to third base is Kingery. To second base Williams. As he slides in safely, it'll be second and third with 1 man down.
Well done all the way around. It's a good read by Scotty Kingery. Even better base running by Nick Williams. He's thinking 2 right out of the box. Ball just hit into no man's land. He stays on this breaking ball well. Serves it in the left field. What helps is that Ryan Braun gets this. Right-handed thrower moving to his left. See, Nick never breaks stride. Makes it to second base easily. Well done.
Phillies have bullpen action with Maikel Franco out in the on-deck circle. Think something happened to Zach in the last inning?
No.
Maybe covering first. You don't think it's anything from covering first?
No. Runners to score position. They think they have a chance to add on here.
Well, and maybe it's just a decoy too.
Eflin with just 73 pitches.
Well, you never know. 0-2.
Either way, I don't think Maikel's going to face Boone Logan.
There's nobody warming up.
Walk him. Face Crawford next.
That's true. That's right. That is true.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs. Oh wow. They are going to have Franco bat here. Well, I guess nothing should surprise us anymore.
How can it?
Zach Eflin has been dominant.
I mean, it's.
I think I would.
5 innings.
I think I would prefer Maikel to bat for Crawford. I know that there's 2 outs and Eflin's up.
And Eflin handles the bat well.
Yeah.
And there they go. There's the walk. Man, I know it's a team game, Tom, but if I only get to play once every 5th day, I get to go out and compete, and I'm yanked after 5, I'm not going to be very happy about that. Man,
with 71 pitches.
70, yeah. Logan does struggle with command here, and
He definitely does.
you know, there's no wiggle room. Bases loaded. But you got to feel for Zach Eflin here.
The only thing I'll say about Zach is that you have a 1-run lead. You are relying on your pitchers a lot. You can bust it open here. That would be great if they do it. But he has been. There's only been a couple balls hit hard against him.
Yeah.
Now, unless something, I don't think anything happened.
No.
The other part of it too, and you're watching the command for Logan that we talked about, but you know, JP is 0 for 4 in this series with 3 strikeouts. Two balls and no strikes. Let's see if he can get a run in here.
Wow. Go slider. Michael stays in this game, plays third, or
yeah,
depending on what happens here.
I would think so. I think the pitcher's spot will be back to the 9 spot.
If JP were to make it out.
Yes. Though again, well, let's just see what happens. Outside 3-1. Now there is that strength in JP Crawford that he has an excellent eye at the plate. Now he's run the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
I think you got to take a pitch here. That sounds. I mean, you have RBIs out there, but the only reason with any other pitcher except Boone Logan right now, I'd say have at it, but struggling with command.
He was taken there. All right, so now the runners will be off. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He's sitting on slider here for JP. That's all he's seen.
That's all that's been in the strike zone too. The runners lead off. And just a bit outside. Wow, that was close. Ball 4. The Phillies get an extra run. It's an RBI. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Wow.
That was really
that takes
close.
some fortitude to take this one. Take a look at our PJ Willihan's pitch cast.
That's below the zone. It's over the plate, but it's below the zone. All right, so JP walks. The bases remain loaded. And here's Cesar. 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch cast again presented by PJ Willihan's, and boy, just off the line. Pulled up the third base line, foul, and it's 2-2.
Runners will be off on a swing here. It's been a struggle for Cesar today. 0 for 3, a couple punch outs and a pop up. Can make up for that right now. Ball in the outfield somewhere on the ground.
Another 3-ball, 2-strike count. A bouncer up the third base line. This will be a tough play. Shaw bare hands, throws, and not in time. A run scores on an infield single. It's 4-1.
Speed kills.
Yes, it does.
I can't believe that play was that close. To be honest with you, that's a heck of a play by Shaw.
Well, the Brewers are taking a peek at it, but Counsell's coming out to make a double switch.
He has to go to the bare hand. He's forced to, but that's a very good play there by Travis Shaw.
Well, the Phillies have scored a couple of runs against Boone Logan. We got a pitching change here at the top of the 6th. We'll be back right after this. The gamble by Gabe Kapler to send Michael Franco up and load up the bases paid off, because J.P. Crawford worked out a walk, and then Cesar Hernandez with an infield single. And he's given the bullpen some breathing room. Jacob Barnes will take over for the Brewers. Barnes averages 95.5 miles per hour on his fastball. He's got a good arm, 25 strikeouts and 26 innings of work. And Eric Sogard comes out to play shortstop in the double switch. So Sogard will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yeah, the pitcher's spot will be the number 8 spot in the order. Zach Eflin 5 innings today, 73 pitches. He allowed only 3 hits and 1 run. Struck out 6. And Rhys Hoskins takes the first pitch out of the strike zone, but it's 1-0. Now the Phillies will just need 4 innings from their bullpen. It's 12 outs. It's a lot of work for the bullpen, but they are rested to a certain extent. You can get Sir Anthony for a couple innings if you want. But if Rhys gets a hit here, I mean, that'll bust it open. He's already 2 for 2 with a walk. Jacob Barnes 1 for 7 so far with inherited runners. A lot of fun involved in being a major league manager, but some of these decisions, I mean, you are basically, I mean, you're going by numbers. There's no doubt you're going by numbers. Some of these decisions that managers make are, I've got to be, you've got to have a knot in your stomach.
Yeah.
Because whether you believe it or not, I mean, you know that you're under scrutiny.
You're going to get second guessed whether it works or not. Well, that worked that time, but there's always going to be a button there.
And it has worked. I mean, it's a gutsy call. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hoskins. You need 4 innings from your bullpen, but he has a lot of confidence in the bullpen, even with Luis being on the disabled list. It'll be Tommy Hunter that's first out of the pen. Adam Morgan's available. As we said, Sir Anthony's available for 2 innings. Swing and a miss. 97 up and in. 8 men come to the plate in the inning. The Phillies scored 2 runs. They take a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. JP's bases loaded walk helped the Phils along. To dealers.com and by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org. Sausage race in between innings. Italian looked like it had the lead. Well, it did have the lead, but it needed to get inside. The Polish, though, pulled away with a convincing victory.
So fixed.
Chorizo pulled up the well, Chorizo was last again.
I got brought 2 days in a row.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Brott had a better performance today, though. Tommy Hunter on the pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning, delivers a ball to Eric Sogard. 4.00 ERA for Tommy. 22 hits in 18 innings. Phillies bullpen needs 12 outs in relief of Zach Eflin. Sogard 125 on the year. He had a decent start last year for the Brewers. Just not the same kind of success. Two and one. Some folks have floated out the idea that maybe the Brewers go out and get Scooter Gennett back, who they let go before last year. Have him play second, VR move back to shortstop. They don't want to move VR back to short, it seems. Fouled away, 2-2. Phillies lead it by 3 in Atlanta. The Braves and the Padres are scoreless. That game's at the top of the 5th inning. Meanwhile, Toronto is on top of Washington, bottom of the 7th, 2-0. Fly ball out to short center field. Odubel makes the grab for the first out. Ben, it's time for the Ram Truck Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. Who holds the record for most consecutive games with a strikeout by a Brewers reliever?
The initial name that came to mind was Corey Knebel.
Corey Knebel is correct. 46 consecutive games. It ended last year in July. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack.
He is a strikeout machine.
He is. We would see him in a tight game for the Brewers. He and Jeffress handled the back end of games for Milwaukee.
Pretty good duo right there.
Thames takes up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Line drive caught by Scott Kingery. A diving stab on the glove side. 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Quick reactions there. Full extension. Ball is peppered. See Scotty ranging to his left. Excellent play. It's just so hard to put down L6 when it's hit there.
I know, right?
You know? So Larry just puts where it was hit, he puts L4.
Breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tantalizing to lay off if you're Yelich.
Eflin was able to climb the ladder on him in his last at bat. Get him to chase.
Off Yelich's foot. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Tommy Hunter. He retires the side in order. We'll move to the 7th inning. Phillies 4, Brewers 1. Time for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies were down 1-0 when they scored 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and then 2 in the 6th inning. They lifted Zach Eflin for a pinch hitter. It was Maikel Franco. He was intentionally walked. And then eventually J.P. Crawford worked out a walk and an infield hit by Cesar Hernandez, and that's given the Phils a little breathing room. As we go to the 7th inning, they're going to search for some more. As Odubel Herrera leads it off, it'll be Odubel, Carlos Santana, and Scott Kingery. 3, 4, and 5. Got a pitch up the stairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, they said temperatures would be in the 90s today. It has been beautiful all day long. I mean, it has not been, at least it doesn't feel like it, in the 90s. Said game time temperature was 79. Now it was a 3:10 local time start, so it may have cooled off, but even being outside today before we got here, it didn't feel like it was in the 90s. The normal temperature this time of year around here is 77 degrees, what the weatherman said today. That's the average temperature. I bet you the folks out in the bleachers, though, feel like it's 90 degrees.
Baked.
Murph has been staying out of the sun, which is a good thing. 1 and 2. Somebody's getting a little suntan. Two and 2, a fastball upstairs. Odubel's 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out, he's popped out, and he went down on strikes. Boy, another good crowd. 40,531. They do draw well.
Yeah.
Odubel strikes out. 1 away here in the 7th. Phillies will re-enter interleague play on Monday, June 25th, when they take on the New York Yankees for a 3-game series. Big test for anybody in the National League East facing the Yankees. 3 night games, all 3 at 7:05. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Santana's 0 for 2, couple strikeouts. He also walked in the 4th inning. Oh boy, that's a beautiful piece of hitting right through the vacant side of the infield. A base hit for Carlos.
Hit them where they ain't. Right, that's the name of the game. Well, there's nobody there.
Kingery last time up walked. He's 0 for 2. Swing and a miss, 0 and 1. The glove of Kratz. That'll move Santana up to second base.
Should be a pass ball.
I would think it is. Pass ball is what has been scored, Ben.
This delivery by Barnes, man, everything's flying at you. He's Scotty lucky to get out of the way of that one.
That kind of ate Kratz up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if Scotty can get home Santana. And a liner out to right field, right at Yelich, who recovers at the last minute. Santana back to second base.
Ball went into a second gear there.
Sure did. Two outs. And Nick Williams coming up. Ben, did you catch up with Bob Uecker at all while you were here the last couple of days?
I did not.
Great Bob Uecker entering his 48th season as a broadcaster and his 63rd year in baseball. Always have to stop in and hear him tell some Sarge stories. 1 ball and no strikes.
He's out in the hallway today talking with Scott and Kevin.
Kevin Stocker, right? Yeah, got to make sure you tell us that. The only man in the broadcast group that could beat Ben Davis in golf.
He is some kind of good.
1 ball and no strikes. Outside 2-0. Bob Uecker's got his own statue. He actually has a couple of them. There's one of them. Looks like he's still doing the superstars as a commentator. There's the other one. Looking an awful lot like Don Sutton.
I was gonna say.
Outside 3-0. It's like the same guy that did the Fonzie statue in downtown Milwaukee did that statue. Must be in the front row. Outside ball 4. Williams draws a walk.
The unintentional intentional walk.
And Knapp is now up. He's 1 for 3. Craig Counsell going over his lineup card. Knapp has popped up and he's homered. That's given the Phils that gave the Phils the lead 2-1. And then he struck out in the 6th inning. Here is the 5th inning when he homered to center field.
Gets a 2-0 cookie right down Broadway. Dead center does go Andrew Knapp. First one of the season. Very excited, T-Mac, as well he should be.
And he starts the ball off with a strike, and it's 0-1. Outside. Kratz is able to corral it. Well, he's losing his command here, which is a good thing for the Phils. Put a little more pressure on him. Valentine is in the on-deck circle. Said his arm felt okay today after pitching last night.
Talked to him today, and his father had called him and said,
I'm sure he did.
Didn't have anybody else that could go in there? He said, Dad, I'm just doing what they tell me to do.
Good eye, 3-1. Phillies have walked 6 times in today's game. Couple that with 7 hits. That's some pretty good work by the offense.
Brewers lucky the score's only at 4-1.
Yes.
The amount of traffic that's been out there.
Bouncing ball foul. And a boy, Jose.
Suave Medde.
Ooh, tough toss. Jose David Flores, the Phillies first base coach. Ball 4 will load up the bases. There are some really close pitches here today. And Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, coming out to the mound. And Valentine will pinch hit with the bases loaded. Seven walks today. Take a look at Pitch Cast presented by PJ Wheelahans. I gotta tell you, Jeff Nelson has been right on today.
Yeah, he has. Backdoor cutter. In that situation, I kind of disagree with the pitch selection. You look at Barnes, this guy's a max effort guy. Every pitch, I mean, talking about everything flying at you. There's elbows, legs. I mean, it
takes forever.
And he takes forever.
I mean, it takes forever.
Make sure of himself, Tom.
I think he's afraid to throw it sometimes. Craig Counsell going over the lineup card with Ben's, what could have been Ben's former college coach, Pat Murphy. Here's Valentine. Valentine 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter. He has swung the bat better recently. Takes a strike and it's 0-1. Not a bad pitch to hit there.
No,
too.
it wasn't. It's a little too hard. Cut it back just a bit. Find a way to put it in play. that guy's questioning his seat location right now.
Maybe. Up and away, 3-2. So now with the bases loaded, the Phils have a little bit of movement on the base paths. The wiggle room, well, there is none. Three balls and 2 strikes. The runners will be off with 2 outs here in the 7th. And that one's pulled foul. And we'll do it again. Go. Pitch is bounced over to the right side. PR is up with it, and the inning is over. So Barnes works himself into a jam, a bases loaded jam, and then gets out of it. It's time to stretch here in Milwaukee. The Phillies on top of the Brewers 4-1. Defensive play of the game are 2 in particular for Zach Eflin. This was a caught stealing, Ben, but it was a big one earlier in the ballgame.
It sure was with Ryan Braun in home plate. Travis Shaw thinks he can sneak one in. Zach Eflin up by, and then here picks off Lorenzo Cain. Big man with some quick feet. Plays overall. That is your Hyundai defensive plays of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Lorenzo Cain will lead it off. Aderbry Ramos will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. A 0.72 ERA. This is his 30th game. He's kind of been one of the unsung heroes to this Phillies bullpen. Phillies bullpen needs 9 more outs in relief of Zach Eflin. Tommy Hunter worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. Got a pitch in there for strike. It's 0-1. Slider fades outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cain today is 1 for 2. Rounded out his first time up and then singled his last time on a breaking ball. Fouls it away, and he's behind 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aderbry, you just really never know what you're going to get. I think he's been more consistent. Would you agree this year?
Yes, he has. He's been throwing his fastball a lot more. Sometimes he'll double up on it. Sometimes he'll triple up on a slider. You just don't know.
The 2-2 pitch. Popped up first base side. Santana into foul territory. And 1 out. Over the shoulder grab. 4 up, 4 down for the bullpen. We end this series tomorrow, and then we head home to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. And the first game is Monday night, 7:05. That's the Game of Thrones night at Citizens Bank Park. It's a theme night ticket that's required. 7:05, 7:05, and then 1:05. With 1 out, Travis Shaw, who is 1 for 2. Single homer run and then struck out. Pulls it over to first. Foul ball. Phillies bullpen has an earned run average of 3.96. They've gone through their roughest patch of the season here in June.
Headed right now with 25 1/3 innings, 28 strikeouts.
Outside. They've got rain in Atlanta, where the Braves now lead the Padres 1-0. Charlie Culberson has hit a home run. In the dirt. 2-2. While Toronto has defeated the Nationals 2-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Shaw. Tapper back toward the right side, charging Kingery, and throws him out. Comfortable play. 4-3 on the putout, or excuse me, 6-3 on the putout. And there are 2 outs. Or as Larry would say, 4-3 on the putout. And here's Ryan Braun. Braun is flat out to center field and singled. Pitch. Different speeds on that slider sometimes. You know?
Well, mixing a curveball as well.
That may have been a curveball.
That's a slider. I think.
Yeah. Opposite way, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch coming from Ramos, and he stays alive and just flips it foul. Keep him quiet. Keep him quiet. To the right side, and Cesar can't get to it. Second hit of the afternoon for Braun. Almost the way he was just trying to survive there, and he did.
Amazing at bat.
Fouled off some breaking pitches before he got a pitch he could just poke into the hole. And Jonathan VR is coming up.
Fastball up. It's like the same swing you saw in his last at bat. He hit a line drive to right field.
Jeff Nelson's marking down the trip to the mound. There's a strike, 1-1. Whew, 1-2.
Ball had some life, that fastball.
Anthony's starting to warm up. Yeah, we might see him in the 8th and the 9th inning. Depends on how it goes. That one's off the foot of VR. VR began his career with the Philadelphia Phillies when he was signed as a free agent by Sal Agustinelli. Very familiar name when it comes to the Latin American players. In the 2010 season that he was traded. When he was playing for Lakewood, he was hitting .272 with a couple home runs, 36 runs batted in. Came up to the Astros in 2013 and then eventually made his way here to Milwaukee. The trade was Jay Happ, VR, and Anthony Gose for Roy Oswalt. Bouncer right side. Cesar will cut it off and just tag Braun out. Although they say he was out of the base path.
Is he out of the base path? I don't know.
But he's out. So the inning is over. It's a fielder's choice for VR. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Craig Counsell is coming to chat with Manny Gonzalez, the second base umpire.
He was running right at the bag.
I think he tagged him anyway. See there? Well, he's definitely not out of the baseline, but he is tagged out. So you got him running the jersey. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We've completed 7. We're on to the 8th inning. It's 4-1. Phillies on top. or more on car insurance. 4-1 Phillies on top of the 8th inning. Hernan Perez will take over at shortstop. Moving from shortstop to second is Eric Sogard. As the Brewers make another double switch, Jacob Barnes goes an inning and a third. Is not charged with the run. Jorge Lopez will check into the game. Lopez a 4.35 ERA. Again, the pitcher record on the winning side is still Zach Eflin, who was outstanding through 5 innings for the Phils. And then Gabe Kapler made I think a very tough decision for a manager. I think after the game he'll probably tell you it wasn't difficult, but I think it's a very tough decision, because when you get an outing like Zach had going, even though you only had a 1-run lead, I think it's hard to take him out. But pinch hit Franco, second and third. They intentionally walked Franco, and then J.P. Crawford, who has an excellent eye, he worked out a walk, and it forced in the 3rd run, and then eventually the 4th run on a little infield single.
Well, we've heard it since day 1 in spring training. Be bold. And that was a bolded move, as you're going to see.
Yeah, and he gave it, and we've talked about this, will think outside the box. I mean, and he had confidence in he has confidence in his bullpen that they can get the 12 outs they need. They've gotten 6, and they have 6 more to get. And it may just be only one guy that gets those 6. We'll see. Crawford is 0 for 2 with that bases loaded walk. Gabe has been very, I think, very composed with a lot of things that he's done too. I mean, you don't usually see a change in his expression. Although he did light up the other day when he was talking about being back here at Miller Park, where he was part of the 2008 wild card team. 3-1. Said he came out and took a picture of the banner signifying the 2008 wild card, and he sent it to Dal Swain, who eventually became the manager late in the year. Remember the collapse the Brewers had, where it cost Ned Yost his job? We asked Gabe about that. He said, you know, I wasn't totally surprised. He said Ned had sort of run his, you know, he'd been here so long, his run was coming to an end. Remains 3-2 to Crawford. Council was part of that too as a player. Fouled away. He had a nice career, Craig Counsell, as a player.
Sure did.
Won a World Series with the Marlins. Scored a winning run. He had 228 that year in 08 in 110 games. Another foul ball by Crawford. That one off his foot, and that's going to Smart.
Craig Counsell wasn't always pretty, but he got the job done. Still looks like he could play.
Yeah. He's 47, though. I don't think he can make a comeback.
No.
Although Rafael Palmeiro, see, Ben, that's inspiration. Rafael Palmeiro is trying to make a comeback. Another foul ball. And he's 53. In better shape than he is.
But all he has to do is stand out at first base.
That's true. That's a little easier. Young lady made a nice grab off the net.
Yeah.
those are really close pitches that he's just taken in his last 2 at-bats that have resulted in the 8th walk for the Phils. Here comes Cesar Hernandez, and here comes the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thank you, Tom. Brought to you by the University of Maryland, University College, and some injury news for the Atlanta Braves. They placed Mike Foltynewicz on the DL. The big right-hander has some forearm tightness after his last start, so they just want to be careful. The good news is, though, they brought Julio Teheran off the disabled list today, and also Ronald Acuna is set to make a rehab start in the next couple of days, so they should get him back pretty soon as well. So 1 piece of bad news for the Braves, 2 pieces of good news. And how about this for the Houston Astros? They won again today. It is their 10th win in a row, and they are currently on a road trip, a 10-day road trip. They are 9-0 on that road trip. They are 28-11 on the road this season. In the notebook, it says the Astros are good. The Astros are a good team and playing very, very well, guys.
Playing really well. They just keep getting better, too.
It's a special rotation they have down there, isn't it?
One ball and no strikes.
Talk about a team that could beat you in a lot of ways. That Astros team.
And I don't think it's going to stop.
No.
I mean, when I say stop after this year. Outside 2-0. But by the way, the 8 walks by the Brewers pitching staff today ties their season high. They did it 2 other times. April 10th against St. Louis, May 19th against Minnesota.
The second time the Phillies have had 8 walks. Just did on that recent road trip in Chicago.
Runner goes, pitch is taken for a strike, throw to second base, off the leg of Crawford. This time he's not going to advance to third. Sogard was out there.
What a throw.
Second stolen base for JP.
Perez just started getting there. I mean, this ball is right on the money. I don't agree with the route that Perez took there. He was coming in on the ball. The ball ended up being right over the bag.
That's what we've talked about. The Phillies have made that adjustment this year, and I think it's helped Jorge Alfaro by staying on the bag or around the bag instead of in front of it. I think it's a flaw that infielders have had, honestly, been for the last 5 to 10 years, is fielding the ball in front of the bag instead of on the bag or around it.
I agree. Something I could not stand as a catcher. Let the ball get there. Brewer bullpen that comes in second in all of Major League Baseball with a 2.66 ERA entering today's game. They've been awful shaky today. The command has not been there. A lot of full counts, obviously a lot of walks.
Bouncer foul, remains 3-2. That had some depth on it. So 1 out. Cesar has struck out 3 times today. And that will bring Rhys Hoskins up, who is 2 for 3. A home run, a double. He's also walked in today's game. Curveball. Hector's now warming up. Sir Anthony has stopped throwing in the pen. So they'll go with Hector to start the 8th inning, and if he gets into trouble, Sir Anthony comes in.
I think if they get a run here, you'll see Hector. This won't be a safe situation.
Yeah, there is 1 out. You could see Sir Anthony pop up one more time with 2 outs. Inside, and it's 2-1. Odubel waits on deck. And a line drive base hit it to right left center field. JP is around third heading for home, and he'll be held. It'll be first and third with 1 out. JP started back to second, and that's what delayed him. Well, Rhys is now 3 for 4.
Hit the ball so hard. You cannot fault JP right here. You cannot do it because you're staying on second base. You're not knowing where everybody's aligned, and that's straightaway shortstop. And you play baseball your entire career. That ball, you're going to freeze on it. Last thing you want to do is get doubled up in that situation. You can't fault JP there.
Here's Odubel. Odubel's 0 for 4. He is grounded out, popped out, and struck out twice. Phillies trying to add on another run here. One ball and no strikes. Be nice to see Odubel get a hit here just to keep it going, what he's been doing the last couple of days. Tapper.
Front right shoulder's flying, his head's flying.
Swing and a miss. Third strikeout today for Odubel. Second strikeout of the inning for Lopez. And now it leaves it to Carlos Santana with 2 outs. Santana did have a base hit his last time up. He struck out a couple times today. Eight walks and 12 strikeouts today for the Phillies offense.
Seems to be the norm now with the team.
Yeah.
You know, 10 strikeouts or more every game seemingly.
side, 3-0. And ball 4. That'll load up the bases.
9 walks.
Yep. And that brings Kingery to the plate. That is a season high in walks for the Brewers. Erik Johnson coming out.
It's just it's not good baseball.
Nelson marking down the trip to the mound, although he's letting it go on. All right, so now Kingery is up. Phillies have left 9 in the last 4 innings, 10 overall. Well, they've got the bases loaded here. They've left the bases loaded in the last 2 innings. Scored 2 though in the 6th.
Phillies 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
Oh, is that what it is now? Wow.
And 10 left on base.
Kingery takes strike 1, 0-1. Bouncing ball past the third base coach's box. Woke somebody up down there. Had a baby. Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Lopez. The Phillies leave him loaded. Phillies have left 13 this afternoon, but have a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Milwaukee. Live from Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. We'll talk about the home runs by Hoskins and Knapp, the third straight good start for Eflin. Also talk about Gabe Kapler's decision to pinch hit for Eflin in the 6th. And maybe able to talk about the bullpen hanging on. Hopefully they can. They need 6 more outs, and Sir Anthony Dominguez may be the guy in charge of getting all 6. As he begins the 8th inning. And he'll face Erik Kratz. First pitch fouled away at 98, 0-1. Kratz has flied out to center twice. Again, only 4 hits today for the Brewers. And all 4 have been singles. 2 by Braun. 1 by Shaw, and the other 1 by Keane. It goes right past Knapp. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's an interesting look. It's either the Monopoly guy, Abraham Lincoln, or Colonel Klink. I'm not sure which one.
It's got to be the Monopoly guy, right?
You think so?
Yeah.
I'd like it to be Colonel Klink. 3 balls and 1 strike. Beyond that, I'd like to know why he's dressed like that. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And a fly ball right field. And Nick Williams will make the catch for out number 1.
Why not? Why not wear a top hat to a ball game?
If you can, yeah.
Just keeping score.
Hernan Perez up for the first time, 0-1. A little slider just to drop in at you. Bouncing ball to third. That's a fair ball. What an angle that took. Rhys Hoskins will get to it. Perez will get to second base with a 1-out double. Crazy angle.
Yeah.
There was no way JP could get to that ball.
Craig Counsell liked what he saw of Herman Perez last night. He continues it here today. Yeah, this is. I'm very surprised this ball stayed fair.
That's a fair ball.
Absolutely.
See how it bounced on the line. Wow. Another visit to the mound by the Phils. Eric Sogard. And it gets by Knapp. That'll get a runner to third. Oh, it hit him. Hit Sogard. So it's a dead ball. It moves Hernan Perez back to second base.
At the top of his foot. He can be very thankful that did not hit him flush.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean,
he might have a burn mark on it.
he might have a burn mark.
Thames is 0 for 3. Fouled it away, and it's 0-1. Josh Young is trying to get somebody's attention.
Nice
play by Knapp. Yep, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Keeps the double play in order. Excellent job, Andrew.
He went around. 99.
Seems a little unsure of himself. Absolutely went around.
Quick bat to get around at 99 like that. Swing and a miss. He got it with a slider. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th inning. It's so hard not to gear up for that 99.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, I got to get it started early. If you don't pick up rotation, you're done. Exactly what happens to Eric Thames here. He's looking fastball, bottom falls out. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap.
Top cap.
Top cap.
Yep. Here's Yelich. Maybe Yelich takes a breaking ball 0-1. Some of our fans on Twitter think that that gentleman's there for Sir Anthony. That's a look for Sir Anthony. That'd be a novel idea. Very
novel.
Clever. Could be one of his Sirs. Check swing. Didn't matter. Called a strike. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sir Anthony's able to get a second strikeout. That's right. A tip of the top hat. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left.
That's straight dirty. You're looking for that heater. He drops that slider on you. Nothing you can do. We are headed to the top of the 9th.
Dominguez got a couple base runners on, but then was able to get a couple strikeouts. Nick Williams will lead things off, and he'll do so against Jorge Lopez, who pitched the 8th inning and now will begin the 9th inning. First pitch fouled away. Upstairs, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And a line drive, base hit it to right field. Man, Sogard got up there. That is a sweet swing from Nick Williams, his 2nd hit of the day. And it brings Knapp up.
Not forget the bullet he hit his first time up, 2nd inning.
By the way, it's Hector that's warming up in the bullpen because Aaron Altair is in the on-deck circle. There was no double switch made.
I told Nick yesterday, I said, hit them when they ain't. And he looked at me and he goes, they ain't in the seats. I said,
Very
have at
profound.
it. Have at it.
Knapp 1 for 3, has a home run today. Short lead by Williams.
Just watching Thames throw that ball back to Lopez. It's like he has a tough time throwing because his arms are so big. I mean, they're huge.
Fly ball foul, 0-1. Tomorrow will be on the air at 2 o'clock. The big Sunday show gets everything started at 1:30.
Grande Domingo.
Yeah. Aaron Nola, Chase Anderson. Those are the scheduled starters for tomorrow. Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss. Knapp is down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Lopez. And Aaron Altair will come up. So only 1 inning for Sir Anthony. That means Hector's going to get a chance at a 3-run save at the bottom of the 9th inning, unless Aaron and the rest of the Phils can do something here.
You have Kane, Shaw, and Braun coming up in the 9th. Will have his work cut out for him. 3, 4, 5.
Give the Phillies bullpen some credit. They began in the 6th inning in relief of Zach Eflin, who was excellent today. Curved ball hit out to center field. And Kane lounges under it. 2 outs. Boy, that was a good one to hit. And that brings J.P. Crawford up, who has walked a couple times today.
It's like Aaron saw that pitch, expected to break more, and kind of jammed himself.
Crawford's on-base percentage is about 100 points higher than his overall average because of the walks. His first walk was a big one. It was a bases-loaded walk.
Take my chances if I'm Lopez here, having Kratz throw him out, because that is not the best of moves.
And it's a very short lead over at first, and I can't imagine he's going to go. Although it would be nice to get him in scoring position.
He is about 4 feet off.
2-0. Braves game's got to the top of the 8th inning. It's still 1-0 Atlanta.
I mean, seriously, can you remember a righty throwing any one of our lefties inside today intentionally?
I do not.
I mean, I haven't seen Kratz set up inside once, not once. He's done it for back foot breaking balls, but he has not done it on a fastball. Everything's been away.
Two and two. Williams will be off, so Thames will play behind him.
Good pitch to hit there. I'd like to see JP just tighten it up a little bit. Be as long as you want after contact, but when you get to contact, be as short as you can.
There it goes. Pitch is pulled foul. Now, how can you do that, Ben?
Well, you want to be quick to the baseball, right? So you want to get quick to the baseball, and I always talk about extension after contact. So you can be long. So you want to be, when you're at home plate, you want to be as quick from this point to this point, right? This is our contact point. So you want to be as quick as you can right to there. But once you get to there, you can be as long and out after that. That's why I like that good extended follow through after that.
So you're saying that he's sort of gliding somewhat.
Yes. So I think he's in a setup here, right? So you're in your setup. He's getting a little bit long this way, so it's taking longer to get to contact. You know what I'm saying? So if you're here, you just need a little bit, and then quick there, and then long extension after contact.
And let the ball do the work, basically.
That's it.
He's not casting, is he? Is it when he swings?
Well, sometimes when you're there, you know, you start to pull out, and then you just get long in your backswing.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Williams goes. And all 4. He's walked for the 3rd time today. Amazing.
So again, if you're up here, right, if you start to make this movement, which we saw JP do it a couple times, you start to see this movement. So this goes out, your hands come here, and then look what's left. So you start to drag through.
You're casting there.
So you get out that way as opposed to staying connected, being in this way, and then you get that extension, that follow through after.
Cesar, swing and a miss.
JP can keyhole you, can he? I mean, that was an excellent at bat.
It was a very good at bat.
A lot of pitches for a reliever. It's 52.
Yeah, it is. They were essentially using him if they needed a 5th starter or a long man, so he stretched out. 0-2 to Cesar. Upstairs. Ten walks today for the Phillies hitters. 10 walks and 9 hits. They've left 13, including 12 in the last 5 innings. Outside 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball. Short left. Braun is there. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. And 2 more men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Phil's in line for a victory. Let's see if Hector can get him out. Be out in the ballpark as we do at least once a year. And we'll be trying to get some baseballs. We'll give some out. We might keep some. Ben likes baseballs, so we might keep 1 or 2 or 8. But we'll give some out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies on top 4-1. Hector Neris is on to try to close it out and pick up a save. Well, this has been a long ball game for a 4-1 score, but you think about it, 5, 7, 10 walks for the Phillies. My number's right with that, 10. 10 walks for the Phillies, 14 strikeouts.
Only 1 walk for the Brewers and 9 strikeouts.
Wow. Well, here is Lorenzo Cain. First pitch, a fastball, and it's 0-1. Over to the right side. Oh, that'd be a big out. And it is a big out. One away here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Big out on a number of levels is to just get Hector another sense of confidence. Hector just celebrated a birthday the last couple of days. And now he'll face Travis Shaw. He lost this closer's job, although, you know, as Gabe has said, he never really named him the closer. But he would get a save here if he can finish this baby off. Shaw takes a split and it's 0-1. Ground ball to first base. Carlos is there. Easy trot to the bag. 3 unassisted, 2 outs.
The other reason I think Hector's in this ball game, because I think Gabe Kapler, Erik Kratz, these guys really liked what they've seen out of Hector's last 2 performances. I know he gave up a home run on Thursday, but for the most part, he's been throwing the heck out of the baseball.
I would agree with that. Well, he's got 2 outs here, and now it's Braun. And these 2 guys have a little bit of a history. I don't think Hector's going to do anything here. He wants to get the last out and finish this one off. Swing and a miss, 0-1. His birthday was on Thursday. Hector turned 29 years young. Balls and 1 strike. Braun is 2 for 3. He has 2 of the 5 hits from Milwaukee. Down and away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies try to take game 2 and then set up tomorrow where they could win the series. Now the 1-2 pitch coming to Braun. Opposite way. Nick Williams is there, and the ball game is over. And Hector Neris picks up his first save since the 21st of May and works a 1-2-3 9th inning as the Phils win it 4-1.
Just like that, T-Mac.
Just like that. They had a ton of opportunities to blow this game open, but the bullpen really did their job. They are the Chevrolet players of the game. 4 scoreless innings in relief of Zach Eflin. Rhys Hoskins had a couple extra base hits, including his longest home run of his short big league career. Andrew Knapp, he gave the Phillies the lead for good on a center field home run. And Gabe Kapler pushed some buttons today.
He did.
That you got to give him credit for. I mean, he followed his gut. He followed the numbers, decided to get some runs. And in the 6th inning, those runs are the W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
Yeah, this is just some keyholing right here.